Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 21st chapter, entitled Conversation between Manu and Kardama. Text number 32. Sahaham swam shakalaya Twadvirena mahamune Tava kshetre devahutyam Praneshye tattva samhitam. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. O great sage, I shall manifest my own plenary portion through your wife Devahuti, along with your 9 daughters, and I shall instruct her in the system of philosophy that deals with the ultimate principles or categories. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Herein the word Swamsha Kalaya indicates that the Lord would appear as the son of Devahuti and Kardama Muni as Kapila Deva, the first propounder of the Sankhya philosophy, which is mentioned here as Tattva Samhita. The Lord foretold to Kardama Muni that he would appear in his incarnation Kapila Deva and would propagate the philosophy of Sankhya. Sankhya philosophy is very well known in the world as propagated by another Kapila Deva, but that Sankhya philosophy is different from the Sankhya which was propounded by the Lord himself. There are 2 kinds of Sankhya philosophy. One is godless Sankhya philosophy and the other is godly Sankhya philosophy. The Sankhya propagated by Kapila Deva, son of Devahuti, is godly philosophy. There are different manifestations of the Lord. He is one, but he has become many. He divides himself into 2 different expansions, one called Kala and the other Vibhinnamsha. Ordinary living entities are called Vibhinnamsha expansions, and the unlimited expansions of Vishnu Tattva such as Vamana, Govinda, Narayana, Pradyumna, Vasudeva and Ananta are called Swamsha Kala. Swamsha refers to a direct expansion and Kala denotes an expansion from the expansion of the original Lord. Baladeva is an expansion of Krishna, and from Baladeva the next expansion is Sankarshana. Thus, Sankarshana is Kala, but Baladeva is Swamsha. There is no difference, however, among them. This is very nicely explained in the Brahma Samhita 546. Deeparchirevahi dashantaram abhyupetya. With one candle, one may light a second candle, with the second, a third, and then a fourth. And in this way, one can light up thousands of candles, and no candle is inferior to another in distributing light. Every candle has the full potential candle power, but there is still the distinction that one candle is the first, another the second, another the third, and another the fourth. Similarly, there is no difference between the immediate expansion of the Lord and his secondary expansion. The Lord's names are considered in exactly the same way. Since the Lord is absolute, his name, his form, his pastimes, his paraphernalia, and his quality all have the same potency. In the absolute world, the name Krishna is the transcendental sound representation of the Lord. There is no potential difference between his quality, name, form, etc. If we chant the name of the Lord Hare Krishna, that has as much potency as the Lord himself. There is no potential difference between the form of the Lord whom we worship and the form of the Lord in the temple. One should not think that one is worshipping a doll or a statue of the Lord, even if others consider it to be a statue. Because there is no potential difference, one gets the same result by worshipping the statue of the Lord or the Lord himself. This is the science of Krishna consciousness. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport.
So the Lord is revealing the future to Kardama Muni. He says that you will bear 1 son and 9 daughters, and that son will instruct her the philosophy of categories or philosophy of tattvas, philosophy of the categories of absolute truth. That he will instruct to your wife Devahuti. So thus we see that the Lord has already planned certain things will happen, and accordingly those things are unfolding. So there are many things that the Lord decides, And many times these things are easily predictable. Just like you see, when an astrologer saw Srila Prabhupada's horoscope in his childhood, he said this child can build a house the whole world can live. So just see, the Prabhupada was destined. Lord has sent him, it is Lord's plan, it is already known. The Prabhupada will go to America, Prabhupada will set the seed for the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the Western world, and from there, by his purity, all over the world, the holy name of the Lord will spread, and by the power of the holy name, people become purified. So all these things, definitely, though we may not know, or we did not know, it is already known to the Lord. So in the same case, if you see here also, the Lord is revealing that Kardama Muni will have a son who will preach the Sankhya philosophy to his wife. So, just like many other things also, the Lord is already decided that there will be this yuga. After this yuga, another yuga will be there, another yuga will be there. So if you consider this existence, everything does not go according to the free will of the living entity. They can do what they want. The Supreme Lord is the ultimate controller. At a macro level, He is controlling. When Kali Yuga, when each yuga has to end, it will end. There is no choice for living entities to extend the Dwapara Yuga or Kali Yuga, nothing. It ends. Similarly, within each yuga, the Lord decides certain things will happen and it will happen. Lord has decided that Kapila will take his plenary portion as Kapila will appear and he will preach the Sankhya philosophy. So Prabhupada informs us, for the sake of being aware, that generally in the ancient knowledge of India, there is another famous philosopher called Sankhya, who promotes, he is also called Kapila, who promotes Sankhya philosophy. But that Sankhya is completely atheistic Sankhya philosophy. So when we say Kapila's Sankhya philosophy, we refer to the son of Devahuti, the Kapila, the plenary expansion of the Lord, which is godly Sankhya philosophy. Or as the Lord wants us to know what is the real tattva, what is the real categories of different living entities. So once again, we'll remind ourselves of what Prabhupada is saying, and that there are two kinds of expansions, the Kala expansion and Vibhinamsha expansions. We, the living entities, are Vibhinamsha expansions of the Lord. Now, the Lord is the source of everything. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Gonda Sarva Karana Karna. He is the cause of all causes, Krishna. Cause of his expansions and cause of his energies also. So Vibhinamshas are one kind of separated amshas, which is the living entity, Jiva Shakti. And Jivas, Vibhinamshas, Jivas are there in the material world, Jivas are there in the spiritual world. Spiritual world is also full of living entities who are expansions of the Lord. And then there is the Kala. Kala is Lord's self-same expansion, equal expansion or equally powerful expansion of the Lord is called plenary portion. Ultimately, everything in existence is coming out of the Lord. Either as Swamshas, as Swamsha Kala, or Vibhinamshas, or energies of the Lord, other energies of the Lord, external energy of the Lord, internal energy of the Lord. Those are under the category of energies, represented by different personalities. External energy represented by Durga, internal energy is represented by Radharani. So like that different, and the Narayana in the Vaikuntha Loka, internal energy is Lakshmi. So there is Lord and energies. The Lord has this kind of expansions, Vibhinamshas and Kala expansions. Among Kala expansions, there are first direct expansion from the Lord himself is called, from which Krishna himself is called Swamsha expansions. Balaram is a Swamsha expansion. And any one step later what happens, the same power, then Shankarshana, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, these are all Kala expansions. So that is the information here Srila Prabhupada is giving, and he compares each candle, each avatara or plenary portion to be, we are not plenary portions of God. We are separated Vibhinna Amshas. We are another kind of energy of the Lord, in one sense, if you see. Vibhinna Amshas. So, the Lord himself has got unlimited Advaitam, Achyudam, Anadim, Ananta Rupam. Unlimited forms he has got. And that itself is unlimited. It's not few, unlimited. And each of them are served by unlimited jivas. So this is all the Lord's, vibhuti, his powers, and that is what the entire existence is. That is the ultimate philosophy of absolute truth, is that one person is the Ishvara Parama Krishna. He is Satchidananda Vigraha. It has got unlimited forms. And unlimited leelas, unlimited living entities. Like in the previous purport we saw, the Lord wants to fulfill his desires unlimitedly, and devotees also serve him to fulfill his unlimited desires. There is an unlimited oneness of interest between the Lord and his devotee. So the very primary purpose of existence is the Lord's pleasure, Lord's leela. And Lord's pleasure is not on our terms. The Lord's pleasure is on his terms, which is very inconceivable how the Lord enjoys. But as far as loving relationship is concerned, it is something that we can conceive. But as far as his opulence is concerned, we cannot conceive. As individual living entities, we can feel the reciprocation of the Lord, and one can anticipate the inconceivable loving reciprocation of the Lord. In inconceivable ways he reciprocates, the Lord. The Lord likes to reciprocate. If anything in existence is meant for relating with the Lord in a particular rasa, its constitutional position is that. That's why it exists. In illusion it may have separated, but living entities in illusion we might have separated through a fabricated ahankara, or a fabricated mind, fabricated intelligence, fabricated senses. This whole yantra system is there. It is a fabricated thing. But actually that yantra is not the Vibhinamsha. Vibhinamsha means not the Atma. The Atma in the body is God, because it's coming from God. And it is God coming from God for a purpose of God. For a purpose of God, that Vibhinamsha is given that free will as a constitutional property of that living entity, each living entity. And that free will is characterized by two primary choices. Either to live in this material world independently, or to live with Krishna as his Amsha. Either to live our own life in our Surupa, or there is a choice to take an artificial form and forget that original thing and go into an illusion of I am independent. So one is natural, even though there is a marginal energy has got choice. One choice is a constitutional choice, other is unconstitutional choice. It is not on equal par, these two choices. One is suffering, because it is unconstitutional. Other one is there is a complete fulfillment because it is constitutional. Constitutional means as per the original design, where something has to function rightly, that is constitutional. So we functioning in this material world, as far as soul is concerned, it is unconstitutional. So soul is never satisfied with choices that we make to live separately, independently of the Lord. Now Prabhupada explains here very important concepts in the last part of this in the purport, where he says, in the absolute now, okay, the Lord's names are considered, after saying about the candle and different, first candle, second candle, third candle, and each candle is equal in power. The same way, the Lord's name are considered exactly in the same way. Since the Lord is absolute, His name, His form, His pastimes, His paraphernalia, His quality, all have the same potency. In the absolute world, the name Krishna is transcendental sound representation of the Lord. There is no potential difference between His quality, name, form, etc. If you chant the name of the Lord Hare Krishna, that has as much potency as the Lord Himself. Then Prabhupada says, because there is no potential difference between the Lord and His deity, and one should not think that one is worshipping a doll or a statue of the Lord, even if others consider us to be a statue, because there is not potential difference. One gets the same result by worshipping the statue of the Lord or the Lord Himself. This is the science of Krishna consciousness. So, the understanding of God as a person who is omnipotent. Omnipotent means potency has to be there. So, the understanding of the Lord who has potency and who is omnipotent over His potencies. Omnipotent means He is in full control of His potency. So this is actually the complete, in one line, if you say the entire philosophy of Krishna consciousness, the tattvas, it is this. The Lord, and He possesses and He owns unlimited. Lord is a person and He is an unlimited owner, unlimitedly opulent person, unlimitedly powerful person, and that is Krishna. And in the spiritual world, the Lord, His name, His paraphernalia, they're all pure, isn't it? There is no impurity there. There's no material energy there. If I chant Hare Krishna here, the material vibration is, tongue has to move, then that sound will come. So materially I have to produce that sound. And where is that sound produced? In the air it is produced. In the material energy it is produced. Now in the spiritual world, there is no phenomena that produces sound. In the spiritual world, you say Krishna, that sound is not appearing because of air is vibrating. There is no phenomena there. Nama is the Lord Himself, is a conscious person. Lord's paraphernalia is also Lord. Paraphernalia Lord. Name of the Lord is Name Lord. Form of the Lord is Form Lord. Taste of the Lord is Taste Lord. Color of the Lord is called Color Lord. They're all Lord Himself, His Vakti, His personality. So just like each candle is powerful, in the same way, anything connected to the Lord is having the same power as that of the Lord. So now let us see how in the material world, when we say the Lord is not different from His holy name, it is an absolute statement. Actually, that statement is applicable in the spiritual world. Lord is non-different from His holy name. Now when you come here, in the material world, the Lord's holy name is taking an incarnation in this material world in the vibration that you and me vibrate with our tongue. And what is that vibration? That vibration is a energy. Is it not? What is vibration? Is an energy. And Lord is the owner of all energies. So the Lord manifests in the energy. Lord's pure name manifests in energy. Lord's pure name, pure form manifests in energy forms of this world, which is deity. Because it is manifesting Lord's pure form, it is no longer material energy, it becomes spiritual energy. But the fact is that when you see the Lord is there with his energy. The Lord is as he is, non-different from the original personality, and the energy also is pure. It is spiritual energy. This is very important to understand. Only our materially, because we are conditioned, we think, material energy and spiritual energy is different. It is not. Everything is spiritual energy. Everything is spiritual energy. The Lord is the owner of this, of all the energies. When certain energy acts to disconnect our consciousness from Krishna, that effect is called material energy. A pure devotee's body is not material body. It is already spiritual body. Spiritual body means what? It is spiritualized. It's a spiritual energy. If you go according to modern science also, energy is what is intrinsically matter, not what it appears to be. Stone appears as stone, wood appears as wood, flesh appears as flesh, metal appears as metal. It appears. Appearing is different. What is it intrinsically? This is what science for 300, 500 years have been, right from Aristotle. What is intrinsically everything? So then they made a philosophy, okay, wood is wood. This is this. Intrinsically wood is wood. You can cut it into pieces and all this thing like that. So, but later on, as a science progressed, they found out that no. This is something, everything is made up of atoms, they found out. Whether it is wood or stone. So intrinsically wood is not wood. Means what is the nature of wood? Intrinsically what it is. Not apparently what it is. Not what as it appears, but what is it intrinsically. So these are the scientists who are going into relative truth, intrinsically. So they breaking, deeping, go inside, then they find the atom. And I've repeated many times here that finally they gone so deep. It's intrinsically today, modern science has proved that intrinsically everything is energy. This is not known. In the year 1900, it was not known. Even 1920 also, or around that it was known. So intrinsically everything is energy. It was a shocking thing. Okay, now we are seekers of truth. You look at the deity. I mean, so obvious now what the Shastra says. It intrinsically, as far as matter of the deity is concerned, it is energy, isn't it? And who is the owner of the energies? The Lord. Now the effect of that energy to the eyes is a form, a rupa. Now we see that form, rupa, In the deity, we see that energy is taken a form. So is only the energy of the Lord present there, or Lord is present? When we say deity incarnates, do we say only energy is there or Lord is there? Both. Energy is there because through the energy's guna, we are finding a route to go and see the Satchidananda form of the Lord. So in deity incarnation, the energy, which is nothing like material, it is absolute, all energies, that is representing a form before our material senses. And the Lord and that whether Lord incarnates or not, energy is energy. Intrinsically, when you see the deity's form, whether you have installed or not installed, energy is energy. Now, according to Shastra, particular form, if you make everything, then some personal equations come into being. What is that? The owner of the energy is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has original form, Satchidananda. And his form is never limited. God has a form which is never limited. It can turn into any form, anytime. So the Lord very mercifully and kindly takes a form similar to the deity that you have made. So simultaneously in the deity, there is the energy form of the Lord similar to the made of the energy of the Lord, and there is the original form of the Lord also. You see? Now, as we increase our devotion, bhakti, the energy form through which we see, with faith with which we see, no longer that energy form is an obstruction. Because the Lord has taken an identical form. One sees the way our eyes is seeing the particular form of the Lord in the Archa Vigraha, it is an absolute form of the Lord. It is absolute as the original form of the Lord. There is no difference between Krishna and Balarama and Shankarshana, plenary expansions. Now you take one more step you go. There is another called Vilasa Avatara. There is an expansion of the Lord for his pastimes. Archa Vigraha is for his pastimes. So for Archa Vigraha, the Lord's original form, just like he became Balarama, Lord's original form becomes Radha Krishna Chandra, becomes Krishna Chandra. This is the Tattva. Lord becomes Krishna Chandra's form which you and me see with our eyes. So that means there is an absolute form. There is an absolute form in this particular form. So it is not simply representation. Representation part is that of the energy. Energy is representing, but the Lord himself is there. In the same way, the holy name of the Lord also incarnating in this Kali Yuga into the energy. So the Hare Krishna vibration that we chant, the gross sound that we hear, is not ordinary energy. Nam Makari Bauda Nija Sarva Shakti. That's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. In the name, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now in this verse he is saying Nam Makari Bauda Nija Sarva Shakti. He is talking to common man. That means the sound that you and me chant with our tongue is not an ordinary Shakti. Sarva Shakti of the Lord is included in that Shabda. And then the Lord is incarnating the Vyakti, the personality of holy name, in his original vibration, Shuddha Nama, he is the one who is incarnating as this sound, as our materially vibrated sound. He manifests in that energy. So simultaneously, Lord becomes the energy, at the same time He remains transcendental. This is important. How the Lord becomes the energy? That is Achintya Veda Veda Tattva. When the energy is pure, it's all coming from Him. It is His own energy. Energy itself you take on quality. Name is on quality, energy is on quality. So it is Lord Himself. So sum and substance is, because we have this rational mind, because we have come through this educational system, material education system, not only modern education, even earlier also. Normally one learns, now we learn atom and all those things, but earlier, earlier days, Panchabhuta was being, everything is made up of Panchabhuta and Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara and all this. This was being taught. But once you become devotee of the Lord, you see all these things as energy of the Lord and the Lord. So we are always connected with the energy of the Lord and the Lord. That's why we worship Radha and Krishna, Lakshmi Narayana. Always we worship together. When we worship. So therefore Prabhupada says there is nothing material in the deity. There is nothing material in the deity. You don't need faith now to understand that. If you know modern physics, you don't need faith that there is nothing material. So faith is required till you get convinced. When you have firm conviction, it's not called faith. Because you're directly perceiving, okay, this is energy of the Lord. See how much faith we have got in science. If you read Prabhupada's books again and again, in the Lord, the deity form is non-different from the Lord. He's the original Lord Himself. You scratch your head. When you say modern science, physics has found out that all this is all only appearance. There is no metal, there is no wood, there is nothing, only energy is there. Because your senses, you are seeing these things. Oh, modern science itself says that. Immediately we start perceiving there is only energy. This is Sankhya philosophy talks about that. So what the scientists are saying, we also now we start seeing it. In the Bhagavata process also, there is a portion in Bhagavatam which talks about this Sankhya philosophy. What is matter? What is energy? The Lord is the owner of the energies. And unlimited Krishna is, what is existence? Existence is nothing but Lord playing with His energies. Just like one of the earlier purports, we saw how the Lord's expansion is just like a cobweb. How a spider brings forth, all this web, and then it goes inside, and then he plays with the web. So in the same way, the Lord brings forth all kinds of Shaktis. It is inconceivable for a jiva. You cannot put all this in your head and try to understand all these things. Only thing you can understand is God is all loving. This much you can grasp. His vibhuti you cannot capture. That is a Lord, and Lord only knows. In fact, the Shastras say Lord Himself cannot count His glories. So when we try to understand Krishna consciousness, our approach towards knowledge of Krishna consciousness is as a glorification of the Lord. But in the material world, of course, initially when we come to Krishna consciousness, we try to understand, okay, Jiva Shakti, this Shakti, that Shakti and all that. Try to create a picture, marginal energy and this and then all those things. We try to create an overall picture. But we cannot comprehend the extent of Lord's activities, His leelas, both His loving pastimes, both His own, His vibhutis, His powerful pastimes. Why living entity is after power? Power is inseparable from a person. Power is not bad. Power is inseparable from a person. The Lord is the owner of absolute power. Entire creation, entire all Shaktis is coming from him. Shakti is a truth. Shakti, different kinds of Shakti is a fact. God's Shakti, God and his Shakti, so many Shaktis he has got. Of course, as devotees of the Lord, they understand the Lord's unlimited opulences and they simply surrender one thing only. What is that? The devotees are attracted by the loving aspect of the Lord. This has no end. Shaktis have no end. Chhod do. Nam Nam Akari Baudan Sarva Shakti, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. At one stage when you chant Hare Krishna, Shakti, okay, one side. But the Lord who is all-loving Lord, I want to chant his name. Devotees are attracted to his loving form and not to his Shaktis. In the material world, we are all so, because of so many desires are there, we get bewildered by Shaktis. So initially, no doubt, we get fascinated. Oh, Bhagavan, oh, unlimited opulence, unlimited power, unlimited wealth. You think of Bhagavan in this way and you get enthused. But later on, the devotees, they get purified by the association of the pure Lord, pure loving nature of the Lord. That is what the devotee is after. He is after engaging in pure devotion service to the Lord. He is fascinated, the devotee wants to be fascinated by the Lord's loving qualities, primarily. And not simply his opulence. If opulence, the problem is, then you also get some desires. Oh, this is so opulent, the Lord is. In fact, Bhagavatam says, if you meditate on the Lord's opulence, you will become opulent. If you meditate too much on Lord's mystic opulence, mysticism, that he is Yogeshwara, you will start getting all the siddhis. Now, as far as devotees are concerned, in pure devotion service, they are thinking that getting this is a punishment. I should not think of all these siddhis. I should not think of material opulence. I should not think of power, all these things. I want the Lord, who is the owner of all these things, is the most loving person, and who is interested in every one of us. The Lord wants to fulfill his desires unlimitedly, and the devotee also serves him to fulfill his unlimited desires. Lord's desires are all personal desires. He is a desire with you. He is a desire with you. He has a desire with you. What is that? Become a pure devotee. A loving relationship. That is Lord's desire. The Lord is ready for. Lord wants all of us very much. Not that the Lord wants your ahankar very much. Today I am thinking I am the body. So therefore it's very difficult to believe that, why does the Lord want me? But the soul behind this body is a pure soul. The Lord wants that soul. In forgetfulness you are thinking I am this body. All these identities with the Lord is not attached, except when those identities are engaged. Just like Prabhupada has an identity in this material world. This is not his eternal Swarupa. He has an identity. As a founder Acharya, he has an identity. We worship his form, everything. This identity is 100% pure. It is like a spiritual expansion, a deity, just like deity principle. Prabhupada's original soul is also expanded in a form similar to this form of fiberglass. You see the fiberglass, you are unconsciously seeing his spiritual form. which is manifesting in this material world. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
It's mentioned in this verse, the Lord and His expansions are same, power is same, potency is same, power.
Pava.
The potency is same. Being so, it's also mentioned elsewhere, 1,000 times chanting the names of Lord Vishnu is equal to chanting one name of Lord Rama. 3 times chanting the name of Lord Rama is equal to 1 time chanting the name of Krishna. Why is the difference? How do you understand? When the potency expansions are same power, why it's a difference is there?
If you are able to chant, touch the Shuddha Nama, there is no difference 1 time, 3 times, 1,000 times. Now we are talking about the Nama that you and me chant in this world with our tongue. So it is the Lord's, in particular, 3 times Rama is 1 time Krishna, and 1,000 times of Vishnu is 1 time Rama. These are all transcendental equations. Once the Shastra says, yes, in this material world, in this avatara, as Nama, this is the power, Namna Makari Bauda Nija Sarva Shakti, it says. That Shakti it is about. That Shakti. When if you become pure devotee, where is the difference? There is no difference. There is a transcendental variety. There is no Shakti difference. Rama Nama is Rama Nama, Krishna Nama is Krishna Nama in the spiritual world. There is no comparison. In the absolute world. So this is a statement the Shastra is talking about here, so that everybody takes the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everybody should take to chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and he is freely distributing Krishna Prema, Krishna consciousness. So it is a special potency of the Lord. Otherwise, look at this. Namna Makari Bodha Nija Sarva Shakti. The Lord has invested the names with unlimited potency. What is the need to invest the name with unlimited potency? Because name is name. Name is Lord himself. So why in the name it should be invested? He is talking about the vibration that you and me chant with our tongue. In that he is invested. In other yugas, Krishna Nama does not have the Shakti. Only in Namna Makari Bauda Nija Sarva Shakti, applicable only in Kali Yuga. Yes, in the vibration that me and you chant, in this Kali Yuga, it is a special thing. But the ontological fact that Nama is equal to having is Lord, mentioned Lord Shakti is already included in it. That fact does not change. In Satya Yuga, in Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, you chant purely, all the Shakti is there. Because they are with the purity if you chant. Jai Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.